Welcome back, everyone. We are live again here at the Nebraska State Fair. This is year 5 for the State Fair in Grand Island. The city was declared a metropolitan just a few years ago, and the city continues to boom, bringing in new businesses. Grand Island Mayor Jay Vavricek's term as mayor will come to an end at the end of this year, and Grand Island voters will head to the polls come November. City Council President Chuck Hasse joining me here tonight, as well as financial planner and Grand Island Senior High soccer coach Jeremy Jensen. Thank you both for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, Katie.
These two will be facing off on the ballots for those Grand Island voters. First of all, we were just talking about the fair, and how are you liking the fair so far out here?
I think it's terrific. I mean, you've got good weather other than the rain, but to not have that blazing heat.
Yeah. It's
really
a little
good.
nicer out here tonight, too.
I think the fair gets better every year. You know, the addition of the Nebraska building has just been an awesome addition. You know, with the fish and everything else, it's just good.
Everyone I'm talking to loves that Nebraska building. Well, let's get down to some of the issues tonight. There's plenty of them. First of all, Vavricek's second term in office was filled with controversy, most of it attributed to the handling of City Administrator Mary Lou Brown. Both of you have expressed that if you're elected, you will be replacing Brown upon election. And Mr. Hasse, why is that?
Well, I think it's time for new leadership. It's time for just a change in City Hall. And I think this would be the key appointment, you know, during my term. And so it would be, that's the key position to hire. And I need to get someone that's more compatible with my style, so.
And Mr. Jensen, why do you take that stance as well?
Yeah, I would echo a lot with what Chuck said. I think that in order to realistically hit the reset button and try to get everything off the ground again, I think that was just a necessary thing that needs to be done.
Okay, and some Grand Island residents, of course, are still upset with the impending move of the Central Nebraska Veterans Home to Kearney. At this point, an architectural firm has been chosen, so it seems like it's an imminent move at this point. Is there any other push that you would have for the home to keep it here? And if not, how do you plan to move forward after that, Mr. Jensen?
You know, I spent a little bit of time out there this summer and toured the facility, and really I think the main thing that I got from that visit was that really it's about the veterans, and they need a new facility. Wasn't real happy with the way everything ended up, but I think at the same token, it's time to move on. And you know, from my standpoint, I think I wouldn't want to stand in the way of making any changes. So you know, I think taking a look at what that land can be used for, and working with the state to put all that back into our community is definitely a big step for us.
So moving forward at this point, and Mr. Hasse, do you feel the same way, or how do you feel
Well,
about the veterans?
you know, I'm a veteran to start with, and so that could be my home someday. But the key issue is that veterans home is in the middle of a veterans complex with a hospital and the cemetery, and so it's a whole complex. It's in the right place now, and it shouldn't be moved, and we're going to do everything possible to stop it from being moved to Kearney.
What would be the next step, though, at this point to try and keep it here?
Well, I think to reduce the funding, you know, and that's the issue is you can rebuild it here for far less money than they can build a brand new one in Kearney. And so our focus is going to be on rebuilding it here for less money and save taxpayer dollars.
Looking at the financial issues. And now on to the city budget and taxes as well. City residents haven't seen a tax increase in the past 2 years. Do you think that's plausible moving forward, or do you think that the city needs a tax increase in order to boost growth, Mr. Hasse?
No, I think you need to capture the growth of new businesses in Grand Island, but not capture the additional revenue from existing, you know, homes. So I think there's an opportunity here to do both, to capture the growth from the new construction, but to keep the taxes the same for everybody else.
All right, and Mr. Jensen?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge. When you take a look at, you know, we've got 2 visioning processes going on right now that are going to basically put into the spotlight things that people here in Grand Island want to see happen. And when you couple that with the increasing of salaries for a lot of the MSA status employees, you know, we're already running at a deficit in terms of the budget. I just think it's going to be really difficult to make any, you know, major changes to some of the things that people want to see happen without really taking a big picture approach to it. So, you know, I think you can add some additional revenue sources, not necessarily the traditional forms and taxes, but there's going to have to be a lot of discussion about that.
And now on to political experience in this race. And of course, Mr. Hasse, you've had plenty of experience serving on city council. And Mr. Jensen, you've kind of played that to your advantage, saying that you don't have as much experience, but that would be a good thing for you. Explain why you feel that way.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily political experience is what's needed. I think life experience is probably just as important. some of the life experiences that I've had, I think, have kind of prepared me for this job, and really focusing on team building and some of those things that are really important to me.
And as a coach, I'm sure you've done plenty of that.
That's exactly right, and so that's really going to be my focus. If you want to take a look at my political resume, I mean, there's nothing to hide there, from the standpoint of I just haven't served in office before, but I don't think that makes me any less qualified to be able to lead people.
And Mr. Hasse, why do you think your political background will help you?
Well, I think it's my professional background and my political background. I have both, plus private industry experience. So I think that combination gives me the best experience package to hit the ground running and to make a difference in a very short period of time.
And now, come election, what is your main goal if you are elected?
Well, it's going to be to try to get the values built back in the city employees and get the staff motivated again and start serving the public. I think it's all about service to the community and service to the public. There's a lot of opportunities out there that we can explore and get done.
And what would your main goal be, too?
I think the main thing is, for me, just helping to rebuild the image of the office itself, as well as just getting people excited to work together again. We got a lot of very talented people here in Grand Island, and I think they need somebody that can help facilitate that and get people back together instead of having some of the negativity involved with it.
All right. Well, Mr. Jensen, Mr. Hasse, thank you so much for having this discussion with us here tonight. Of course, voters will head to the polls in November, and I really appreciate you both sitting down here with me tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening tonight at the fair.
Okay, thank you, Katie.
Yeah, that was good. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We'll be back right after this.